This is Paul. Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking about this predicament that I'm in. Yes. It seems that if I tell the law what the law says and they don't enforce the law, then I'm wrong for telling them what the law says because supposedly they know what the law says. When I email them copies of the document that was not issued according to the instructions and the laws of the state of Washington, they tell me to motion a court that issued a document that was not issued according to the laws of the state of Washington. If I go in the police station and I tell the chief of police of Port Angeles or Squim that it's illegal to violate the rights of American citizens, they would probably say it's not their problem. I should motion the court. But if I motion the court would say, well, you need to have a mental health evaluation. When I say there's no jurisdiction for me to have a mental health evaluation because you didn't issue the document according to the laws of the state of Washington, they would say that I have a mental health problem for wanting the law enforced. Now, somebody's going to have to remove the protection order, and as I mentioned yesterday, I'm going to make you enforce the laws. Now, I was reading this dictionary here, and they have a word called the compass, okay? A compass is an instrument. Oh, there's an ant right there. There's an ant there! Holy jeez, I don't like it when there's ants right there. A compass is an instrument used to determine geographic direction by magnetic attraction or other means. A device shaped like a V used for drawing circles. Now, the compass has been used for centuries, millennia, magnetics. Let's say you tell me, no, you have to motion the court. I'm saying, no, the law has a true north, okay? When you read the law, it's self-explanatory. I sent you some pictures! Now, you're telling me north is south instead of north being north, okay? Your compass is way off, all right? Now, when I email those elected to office, when I email judges and justices, when I email sheriffs, and I say, this is what the law says, you have committed a crime, and you have to remove that, and you have to give me my sons. Now, when you tell me that a compass does not read true north, okay, that the magnetic gravity of the world has changed, and the North Pole is now the South Pole, and the South Pole is the North Pole, I would say that law enforcement does not understand the law. For you to tell me to do something that's unlawful means that you no longer understand the law. The law requires. Okay, that's it's like a compass. Okay, you put a compass anywhere, and the magnetic field will point north. Yes. That's how you know the direction that you could be going if you were using a compass to find yourself to a location. Okay. Now I know that there's a chief of police in Squim that says, well, he just needs to come in my office and tell me what the problem is. Well, when I email you what the problem is, you have an obligation to enforce the law. Now, don't ever try to tell me that I don't know what the law says. I have read the law for myself. I have researched the law, and I can see from the instruction form from the state of Washington and from the Violence Against Women's Act and the 5th and 14th Amendments of the United States Constitution and Article 3 of the Washington State Constitution that you took custody of my sons in 2011 without due process. Now, I know it's confusing for those in law enforcement to understand that a compass always points north, okay? Now, you can move around in a circle, but the magnetic field doesn't change throughout the whole earth. The law is what it says it is. Now, they have what's called Communion, okay? The mutual sharing of feelings and thoughts, a religious fellowship among members of a church. Now, in most churches, Christian churches, they have a ritual called communion. Now, in some churches, they drink wine or they eat a small piece of bread. This is my body given for you. Do this in remembrance of me. Now I'm going to need to know the communion of all of those in law enforcement. All the times that you went to the altar and you decided that you were going to partake in the blood and body of Jesus. Now I have this feeling that those elected and appointed to office, when they decided that they were going to drink the blood of Jesus and they were going to eat the body of Jesus, really were not truthful about what they were doing. Now somebody's been believing a lie. When you go to church and you mock, when you make fun of the death of Jesus, because you're up there and you take that little glass of wine and that little piece of yeast-free bread, and you decide, well, I'm just going to laugh my ass off at how stupid Christians are. I'm going to want to know the communion of every elected and appointed oath of office for the last decade. I'm going to want to know every time you went to a church and you thought that the blood of Jesus was a joke.